Oh, hey y'all. It's me again in Chattanooga on Gun Barrel Road. Hello, congregation. Look here. The conspiracy theorists are fully vindicated. And anybody that does not realize that now is dumber than a wet paper sack full of hammers. Huh? Don't you think that all the revelations about Epstein, the Clintons, and the Bushes, and the Obamas, and the Trumps, and the these and that's, and all the stuff that goes along, it's obvious as hell to anybody with half a brain cell still functioning up here. Look at this, my hair's off. Look, y'all, I'm trying to blend in with Russia. Because when I can't look like a Chinese, when the Chinese infantry and soldiers get here, so I figure I'm best to try to blend in with the Russians. So I got this thing going on. Yeah, I know it'll be another year or two probably before they get here, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of practice a little bit. Anyway, you have a psychotic, bisexual, pedophile rapist that's in the oral orifice. So the conspiracy theorists are completely vindicated. There's all kinds of other reasons why the conspiracy theorists are completely vindicated. Cuckoo. Hello, Cuckoo. I got that for you, you dumb, ignorant piece of goddamn dishonorable shit. You're about as dishonorable as Donald Trump is. You probably voted for him, didn't you? You dumb little bitch. Come in here and call me Cuckoo again, you intellectually vacant piece of garbage. Oh, all you're doing is putting yourself on display. People have to come here to realize that somebody like you that's housed and has a roof over their head and a vehicle and probably disability, I'm guessing, you're probably a piece of crap sitting around on your couch farting on yourself all day watching Fox News, fumigating yourself in your own fart fumes because you're on mental disability or something. I'm guessing. I don't know. Because you got nothing better to do than call people cuckoo that are 80,000 times higher on the intellectual scale than you are. But yeah, the conspiracy theorist I already had it tuned down to D, see? Anyway, the conspiracy theorists are completely vindicated, sir. Mr. Cuckoo and Miss Doo-Doo and Miss Juliet, whoever you are. Yeah, the horror of the whole thing goes all the way back to Jesus, all the way back to Abraham, all the way back to Yahweh, whatever you want to call him. Because it turns out that Jesus really was arrested in a public park at 4 a.m. with a naked kid saying, "I'm not a child trafficker." But he was crucified in between two other lay-stays who were also, like him, child traffickers. They crucified 3 child traffickers that day. Yeah. And these motherfuckers are so sick that running this whole fucking planet that they've set you up using the fake God and fake religion, or one of the 2 monotheistic religions. There's only 2 really. Christianity, which includes Islam, and that bullshit God, along with Allah and Muhammad, and that bullshit God. Strangely enough, Mary, the mother of God, was impregnated at the age of 12. And apparently, according to Ammon, I haven't seen him show proof of this. See, I do demand proof for things. I've seen the proof in the ancient Greek of what was really going on with Jesus. So that's not an issue. But I'd like to see Ammon, just for shits and giggles, show where he can prove that either Muhammad or Allah. I don't know if Muhammad was born from a virgin as well, like Jesus. That's probably the case. they stole all this bullshit, you know, all these dumb themes and narratives that are in both these religions. A lot of them are similar, but these are, ironically, these are the two religions. But anyway, a 12-year-old, Muhammad or Allah, I guess Allah, the God Allah, screwed a 12-year-old girl, and so Muhammad's mom was pregnant, or either that or Muhammad actually screwed a 12-year-old. It's a lot to do with 12-year-olds. But yeah, they auctioned Mary, the mother of God, off at 12 because she was a drug processor. That's why her fingers were purple. Purple fingers. Mary had purple fingers. Why? She was processing the purple, which, by the way, has been found. It's what they used as a dye. There's a sea crustacean of some sort. I should be able to remember the name because I've heard it so much. I've said it before, but I can't remember it right now. But it's basically a sea creature with you know, crustacean with a shell that would produce this purple dye. They would excrete this from, or they excrete, those creatures inside of that shell excrete it. But it was used for the purple dye that they used for, actually, probably the temple that was built in way back in Genesis, in the Old Testament. The purple dye. But the thing is, they left out the part that purple dye was also a death-inducing drug, which has been exposed on Danny Jones by Dr. Hillman. It's been exploited by people that are attached researchers, I'll call them, to Lady Babylon, which is Dr. Hillman's YouTube channel. And they have found evidence that this is indeed true. Cleopatra died performing this occult ritual, going into death, and her antidote, or antichrist, apparently wasn't strong enough, or wasn't given to her in time, or wasn't prepared properly, or whatever, and that's what killed her. She was doing the death rite. They called it shooting the rift, crossing into death and then coming back. Your modern die and be born again is nowhere near what they were actually doing. These people were serious. They were killing themselves with these death-inducing drugs that if you didn't get that antidote, you're going to die. But that's why Jesus told them, look, you're going to be able to, you know, handle snakes and snake poison. You want to know where the Pentecostals and all the snake handlers and stuff get all that stupid crap? Misunderstanding what's even written in the English. You can't depend on what's in the English. That's the second translation. Went through Latin, then into English, and now you got 45 different versions in English. If you're a Christian today, you've been duped. You've been lied to, and the irony of it is they're setting you up right now, but that's a different issue. The conspiracy theorists are completely vindicated. Okay? Yes, it is a conspiracy. It's huge. And if you have little tiny gonads, or a little tiny brain, or a little tiny bit of morality, of a real moral compass, and lack the ability to partake with the rest of the public in what you should be doing, your duty to oversee those that claim to have authority and power over you and your people, wherever you live in your lands, wherever they are. You're the piece of shit. You are the lazy, fat, disgusting Ocho many times. Look, there's people guilty of all races that have grown up here in this country, generation after generation. Now, obviously, being a blues player and being born in Selma, Alabama, and having been exposed to racist shit my whole fucking life, I understand fully that the black people here do have a gripe. But you need to understand something. Cuckoo, if you're white, you might want to consider this a little bit. Because if you go and watch Sean Ross videos, which are from the channels Chatsafrat, Homeland Security, and Giureh, Giureh, spelled two different ways. well, not spelled the same way, capitals and non-capitals. That's 4 channels that Sean Ross has. This is the guy I've mentioned before. His child, one of his 2 sons was taken from him in Switzerland by the Swiss banking cartel while he was exposing them while living in Switzerland. This is a man that has studied military history. That's what he got when he was in the military in South Africa. That is what he was studying, and it enthralled him. And he learned enough, and then ended up later trying to track down some nefarious motherfuckers that he decided might be some bad guys. And boy, did he expose it. I've seen probably all but maybe 10 videos from all of his channels, except for maybe a few that got deleted and won't ever get put back up. But yeah, the conspiracy theorists are 100% on, bud. Okay? If you can't conceptualize cuckoo, if you can't conceptualize that very powerful and very smart people long ago wouldn't conspire to monopolize power and wealth, then you're just a brain dead idiot, because it's obvious that that's what they've done. But it was our duty, the whole we the people thing, like here, it was our duty over not just our lifetime, but the reason we're in the pickle we're in now is because my parents' generation and my parents, my grandparents and their generation, my great-grandparents and their generation, there's been one generation after another in this country that dropped the ball. They weren't supposed to allow this demonic corporation. And yes, it is a corporation. Okay? Go look it up. It's in U.S. code. The United States is a federal corporation. That's what they call it. Get off my fucking speaker, you goddamn fucking ant. It is a federal corporation. It's fucking in U.S. code. Go look it up, cuckoo. Don't come back and say cuckoo anymore, even though I know that's what you're gonna do. I want you to go look something up or come with a fact to debunk anything I say. You can't, because you're a dumbass piece of shit. But yeah, so the conspiracy theorists know exactly what they're fucking talking about. Now, does that mean all of them? No. The flat earth, the whole flat earth push and everything was probably pushed by the CIA and shit, because that's what the kind of shit they do. Yeah. This info is very complex, and these motherfuckers know how to do it, boy, I'm telling you. The CIA learned what they've learned from the Catholic Church, the Vatican, and the fucking global banking cartel in Switzerland, which has been gathering all of the sciences, esoteric knowledge, and everything for the past 3,500 years, going back into ancient Egypt, because that's where they come from. Why do you think you got pyramids all over your banks? Huh? Why is there fucking pyramids all over your banks? Why was there pyramids and sphinxes and lions all over the fucking temple castles from one end to the other of Europe that started popping up around 900 AD? And for about 600 years, they popped up every fucking where. Everywhere. Yeah. And they all had, they like those 3 symbols. Are any of those 3 symbols from Europe? There's no lions in Europe unless they're in a zoo. There's no pyramids in Europe unless they were built by people that came in from outside of Europe. There's no sphinxes in Europe, except that it was brought. All that shit's from over in Egypt. If you learn to read the signs and symbols, it'll help you. It really will. But it's only one aspect. See, somebody like me is dangerous, because what I've done, not only have I gone out and found the great Ammon and his revelations, but I've gone out and found similar people like Ammon, like Sean Ross, that are key people to learn from, to put the really big pieces of this puzzle together so you can understand how the mechanics of this thing works. Unfortunately, we're in a bad place right now. Oh, by the way, Ian Carroll, Ian Carroll, I saw this morning that Ian Carroll is in the state of Tennessee, and I went to Ian's comments and asked him to come over here and holler at me because I need to talk to him. Why would I need to talk to Ian? Well, because Ian believes that Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson are just shit. He doesn't realize that their job as disinfo agents, which they are, is to draw the line at Israel. Everybody wants to point at Israel. Now, you need to listen to me. If you haven't listened to me yet, you need to fucking listen to me because this shit's done got real. We're past the point of no return now. They've done what their coded Illuminati bullshit God book, the Christian Bible, has laid out their plan for them because these are the people that carry out those plans. They have the power to do so. Do you understand? That's why Trump was telling the military people that, hey, this is Armageddon. We're going to... Look, when a psycho tells you that shit, believe him, okay? When a fucking psychotic, big backbone biff, bisexual PDF tells you that he's sending the military over to Iran to start World War III and Armageddon in order to bring the Antichrist, in order to bring the second coming of Jesus, the pedophile son of Yahoo, who ain't coming back, and was no supernatural son of God. Do you know how many times you had supernatural, immaculate conception births prior to Mary giving birth to Jesus? It's a whole bunch. A whole bunch. Mostly going back in Egypt. It's strange how everything just kind of points, everything I've studied points right back to Egypt. The thread of history, the thread goes back to Egypt. But anyway, shit, I can't play anything in D for y'all because there's 2 or 3 things in D that are non-blues musical creations of mine, and I think they're so good, perhaps, that I can't play them on YouTube, and I'm not gonna. So, actually, this one right here, I'll give you this. This is. And I'm not gonna play it. Never mind. This thing's not quite in tune. Close enough. Oh, goddamn. Fuck. Close enough. Close enough. Close enough. I can't play worth shit right now, y'all. My fingers hurt. I did play it enough for a couple of days back a few days ago and took 2 or 3 days off to where I'm starting to get some calluses. These big body guitars like this, these big dreadnoughts with the wider neck and everything, they tend to have, especially with 11s. I'm not used to playing. I play with 10s on the electric. Okay, I'm a little bit of a wuss when it comes to that. I have played with 11s on electrics and handled it okay, but it's harder on your fingers, especially when you're playing a lot, which I was years ago. But yeah, these strings are kind of taut, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can't play worth shit right now. I'll be able to do something impressive later on the guitar. I also am going to do I may do it tomorrow. I want to do because Lady Babylon and Ammon talking about strings, and there are so many really good musicians that are part of the congregation at Lady Babylon. You know, I'm just want to throw my 2 cents in there. We can all musicians can learn from each other, and guitarists can learn from each other something. So I got a little something to offer, maybe, you know. So I'll do that, and that'll be something, a regular video talking about strings. I'm more of a lead guy. I learned the scales. I learned the scales and stuff, and that's what I like to do. I'm the opposite of the Dire Straits song, where he says, check out Guitar George, he knows all the chords, he's strictly rhythm, he doesn't want to make it cry or sing. I'm the opposite. And because I'm self-taught, I can't carry a three-piece band as a single guitar player and the only instrument player other than the drums and bass, or carry a band period with just rhythm, because I don't play bar chords. There's a lot of chords I won't play. Most of the chords I know are blues chords. I can play rhythm to a lot of really standard blues songs and stuff because I used to do it. But I still wouldn't feel comfortable carrying a band. My vocal ability, that's where I really missed out on the money. I could have went to Nashville when I was 20 years old, and I'd be rich as fuck right now. I would be one of the big names that everybody would be, oh, remember him? Oh my God, he was good. Yeah, that'd be me. I'd probably still be out there doing it because Martin Offer says you don't ever quit learning. This is about conspiracy theorists, damn it. Get back on the conspiracy theory thing. All right. Yeah, the conspiracy theorists are just fully vindicated. If anybody can't see that now, you're really kind of dumb. Just the whole, government hidden, government protected, government participated in, government funded, military participated, intelligence protected and utilized, child sex slave operations. The Epstein thing is not the only one going on. Oh, by the way, any mother out there that ever would think about buying another fucking thing from Victoria's Secret or any of the other companies owned by Les Wexner, I can't even go in this fucking mall over here because it disgusts me. Because when you walk straight through the food court, straight ahead is a Victoria's Secret. There's actually two of them in there, but one of them is Victoria's Secret. The other one's whatever. And one of those other companies he owns is probably in there too. Your daughters and you mothers and you daughters that are going into Victoria's Secret and buying fucking sexy lingerie from that fucking piece of goddamn pedophile child trafficking garbage, you need to go listen to the testimony. I believe it was a Sean Atwood. No, it wasn't Sean Atwood. You're going to have to go to the children abused category in my playlist, and you're just going to have to go down 2 or 3 or 4 probably. It might be the top one. It might be the last one I put in there. I doubt it. It's in the top 5 or 6 or 7, which is an interview with Maria Farmer. I think it's written. Miss Farmer, if your name isn't Maria, forgive me. But, oh no, it was a Lee Camp. You're looking for a Lee Camp video. Hopefully it's in that category, but Lee Camp usually goes in about 3 or 4 different categories. Most of his stuff I put in there, I put it in 3 or 4 categories because he's right on point. He knows what he's talking about, except for the environment thing. He loses me on that. I mean, I understand the environment, but he wants to support the given environmental protection shit that the system, and no, that's not what we need to do. No. These motherfuckers need to be handled, and they'll quit polluting this whole goddamn planet the way they are. That's what needs to happen. That's what's causing the problem, the environment. Okay? But anyway, other than that, Lee Camp's awesome as shit, and he's funny as hell, professional comedian. But yeah, it's a Lee Camp video, and he shows clips, about 3 or 4 different, fairly decent little, several minute clips of her talking about her experience literally being enslaved on one of Leslie Wexner's properties. She was told in this interview, and this is her talking, and he's playing it, that they told her that if you go outside or try to leave the property, the Dobermans are going to come after you, and we have sharpshooters. Later, when she was causing problems and trying to get the hell out of there, this is a Wexner property, Leslie Wexner property, okay, which he said that he, remember anything like, okay. she was later told that if you try to leave, you will be killed. Yeah. So you're talking about, look, Leslie, she also said that Leslie Wexner was basically handling or above Epstein. Now, I can believe that because we've known through Nick Bryant and Whitney Webb and other people for several years now that Wexner turned over all of his finances to let Epstein handle all of his finances. Because one of Epstein's things, he did a lot of financial crimes. His financial crimes probably outweigh as far as how many charges he would have been charged with, should have been charged with, but wasn't. Instead was probably whisked away to Switzerland. I suspect that Epstein's alive in Switzerland or somewhere over there. France, Belgium, Switzerland, those are three good countries to check right there. And that's from experience watching Sean Ross videos. Those three countries got a lot of shit going on. Not that the others don't. Okay, but Switzerland especially. Switzerland is the heart of the beast. Bill Cooper, Jordan Maxwell, and Sean Ross. All three of those people who I respect. Got a lot of respect for them. Don't agree with everything any of the three of them say. Not everything. But you have to, when you do this thing I've been doing for the last 11 years, you got to learn how to pull information and facts from who you can. You take what's useful and solid from whoever it is that you spend time learning from. But you leave everything else. It's hard to do that, but that's what I've been doing for 11 years, and probably have done 20 years worth of it in 11 years. And I do believe I am blessed, not from Yahoo, but somehow, well, I'll just use the word blessed. It's okay. You get my meaning. I'm blessed with the ability to discern. I've been to college twice. I graduated from high school with a college prep diploma. I've always questioned everything. I've always been a little skeptical about things in this world, and it has paid off because I have gone past the point of Ian Carroll, who I respect. He's a good dude, but he doesn't realize that listening to Candace and Tucker, he's allowing them to draw a line that he won't cross because they won't. Everything's being blamed on Israel. The disinfo campaign of those people, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and unfortunately Ian, who doesn't realize he doesn't have enough info up here. Okay, he's young cat. He's very, as far as his technical skills, this guy's coming up with programs that makes it easy for people to search certain subject matter, and instead of having to read 2 million freaking pages of a document dump like this Epstein dump, you just put in the keywords and boom, it'll pull up everything that references that. He's doing really good stuff, but he doesn't realize that Candace and Tucker now are drawing that line at Israel. Come on now. Anybody that has really gone down some deep rabbit holes knows for a fact that Israel ain't where the buck stops. The buck does not stop at Israel. But they're protecting that is above Israel. And there's several layers above Israel. They're protecting all of that by drawing a line at Israel. Yes, Israel has been managing the United States basically since Israel became a country for the Swiss banking cartel in the Vatican. Part of that whole thing was to, number one, set up the dialectic foe, or the two foes of the end, Armageddon, Islam and Christianity, the two monotheistic religions. Not the only two, because they tried it way back in Egypt about 2000 BC or whenever. And that's why, another reason why I believe it came out of there. Along with the fact that we got fucking Egyptian symbology everywhere. The Washington Monument's an Egyptian obelisk. And if you look down at it, it goes through the Vesica Pisces, which there's 18, by the way, vesica, or vesica pisces, vesica for short, which is basically the vagina, on every Audi driving around out here. If you have an Audi, you got 3 pussies on the front of your car, 3 pussies on the back of your car, and 3 pussies on each of your hubcaps that are usually small, like that. Yeah, you got exactly 18 pussies on your fucking car, which is 6 pussies plus 6 pussies plus 6 pussies. Now, if you think that I'm cuckoo for bringing that up, then you just really hadn't seen the other 100,000 fucking examples of that shit that there is. No, that shit ain't by accident. If you still believe in accidents or coincidences, you're way behind. Way behind. Way behind. Way behind. Oh, damn it. I hadn't picked it up in a few days, y'all. I'm really a pretty good guitar player, but I'm a lot more impressive with an electric. Yeah, we're not gonna do anything impressive on that guitar today, apparently. Oh man, my bones hurt. I've been sick. I think I'm over the sick. There's still a lot of snot coming out of my face. But look, y'all, yeah, I'm toothless, broke down, homeless, procrastinator, going back to work. I'm fixing to go back to work though, because I can't handle this shit. It's going to be a year or two before all the bombs start dropping and everything, but I believe that is coming. Y'all need to check out one of the next couple of videos I do is going to be, I've had 3 or 4 videos I've been intending to do, and this is the second one I wanted to knock out. I'm going nowhere near. I had a whole list of stuff that I had in my head that I was thinking of at least 2 or 3 times over the past several days, thinking about doing this particular video, and I haven't come with any of it. I'm sorry. Look. Anybody that would hear me say in this video that would argue with my point of this video that the conspiracy theorists are now completely, fully vindicated, there's no hope for them anyway. They're dumber than a wet paper sack full of hammers, like I said, and there's nothing to do for them. All you young people out there that think that this world's just going to keep going and everything, no. This shit's fixing to get ugly, right here. And look, the sad part to me is America could be a miracle at this point. And even now, after they've opened Pandora's box by hitting Iran and starting basically the beginning stages of what will be World War III and will be the destruction, like Albert Pike said, of Christianity on this earth so that they can put their system in, because the morality that they ended up pitching as a sales pitch with the English, since King James put it in English and shit, all of that stuff can't jive with what they want, because they want to go back to a feudal system, which is what Islam is. All of the Islamic nations are basically a feudal system. You don't have representative republics or democracies there. They're scared of the white people, because the white people, the Caucasian people in Europe, are really, especially in Germany, that's why you have so much an infiltration way back in Germany, where you have Trump and other people, many other people, Alan Dulles, all these people that have, well, Dulles might not be a Swiss German name, but you can go look at Swiss German names and you're looking at the enemy. These Swiss motherfuckers went down into Germany and infiltrated it and caused 2 world wars. Why? Because when they were the Templars, which is one of their names and faces through history, when they were the Templars, they went over there to where Germany is, and them motherfuckers kicked their fucking ass. You hear me? So what they do is they have to wipe down. They have to have wars just to wipe out the patriarchy, the male part, the male military age part of a population, very often with the white Christian nations, because that's who they fear. Hey, America, all you white people out there, and all you black people, and all you lovely people of every other fucking race that is in the United States, but particularly you Caucasian people, y'all are warriors. Why do you think they took over Europe and made it a point to take over Europe the way that they did with the Templars and subdue all those white tribes? They turned them into warriors that went out and fought their wars for them. And it's been a disgusting, ugly purpose, because these motherfuckers are the sickest son of bitches ever walked the earth. These families are the sickest families to ever walk fucking earth. And you've been fighting wars for them and killing people. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna finish with this. The proof that the conspiracy theorists are correct is in my playlist. The proof of anything I say is in my playlist. If you can't face it, cuckoo, then doo-doo on you, bitch. But for everybody else, got to go to my playlist. There's a Lee Camp video where he goes over the numbers, and I was shocked. This is just a few days ago, so it should be in there somewhere in one of my playlist categories. It's another Lee Camp. It's an Unredacted Tonight. Unredacted Tonight is Lee Camp's like other YouTube channel. Unredacted Tonight. It's an Unredacted Tonight video, and he goes over the death toll of the embargoes and the blocks, which are called embargoes basically, on poor countries, used as an economic warfare. And what it does is it starves the poor people of these nations out and kills them. The numbers shocked me. It was something like 120 million people have died of starvation due to food embargoes impressed by the United States on those poor countries over just since like 1990 or something. 120 million people starved to death for these kid fuckers. This country's never been free. It's never truly been free. Maybe for 10 years. Let's say 10, 12 years. Maybe. Other than that, it went straight back to being completely foreign power controlled. If you're an American and you want America to ever end up being what it claimed to be, you better get off your fucking ass and show the world that no, we see your pain. We see what we've done to you. We see what our mothers and fathers did to you. We see what our grandparents and whatnot did to you out of being willfully ignorant of what was going on and being complacent and holding their governments accountable under a moral standard. Yes. Yes. We're all guilty. We're covered in the blood also. The only way for an American today to die with honor is to die fighting to get rid of these fucking cretins. Ooh, that's a loaded one now, boy. I'm using that a lot. Yeah, they came through Crete from Egypt. That is my theory. I got a few theories. I got some theories, and these theories, since I don't feel any pressure, nobody's really watching my shit, and everybody should be. I should have 300,000 fucking subscribers in the next week after this video. But I won't. Maybe I'll get another 50 subscribers over the course of a couple of weeks. Maybe, if I spit out my theories that are really impressive. Y'all gonna be impressed with me if you keep watching. Because I got some stuff up here, baby. I can figure some shit out. You need me. You need people like me. Because I can point you very efficiently. You can either go search all this shit out yourself, or you can let me point it out to you. It's in my playlist. You got to learn how to. But yeah, if you can, I don't remember what the number is. Something like 240 million people between war and 240 million if you include all the deaths from the food embargoes and starving people in nations to death to try to force them to do what you want them to do, which is all about enriching the rich, the already rich. It always is. But yeah, 240 million dead between war and starvation due to sanctions or whatever impressed by the U.S. through the UN, which shouldn't have never went along with none of it. So that they're, UN's useless. Since like 1900, 240 million. 240 million. They killed 500,000 kids in Afghanistan and Iraq in a 10-year period after 9/11. They just blew up 155, 60 kids that were in school over in Iran. Even my buddy Billy. Hey, Cuckoo. Hey, Cuckoo. Who is your best friend and where do they have a degree from? My best friend has 2 degrees. He's from Chicago. You know where he went to school? University of Chicago. These are the kind of people I talk to, Cuckoo. Who's talking to you? Apparently nobody. Because you have to come and troll me at my channel and try to act like you're going to bother me with your idiocracy and saying cuckoo. You're a fucking piece of garbage. You're exactly why this country does need to be exterminated. You got a choice, America. It's too late to save your ass. That's already over with because of Iran. But it might be time for you to at least make sure that when you do die, you die with honor rather than dying in dishonor. That's all I got for you, man. You better wake your ass up. If you're young and out here thinking that life is a party, you better pull your head out of your ass and grow up real quick. If you're older and should have already known better and should have already been helping to do something, you better get more active. It's time to get these people the fuck out of their power positions, period. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to be making some more stuff. But yeah, the conspiracy theorists, we got it all figured out. Y'all need to come to us. We got it all laid out on a platter for you.